here as the weather has turned nasty and rain will be coming down throughout this game. Let's see who can manage the wet conditions better. It's the Broncos going up against the Mounties. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Toronto Mounties. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Toronto Ball Club as they enter play here. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Automatic first down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Again, Anderson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Completes it to Lawler. The 13 yards that time at a first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
So the defense flinches, contact made, and the 5-yard penalty ensues.
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
Following the penalty, Anderson. That one good for 7 that time. And it'll be first down, Denver.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Throwing here, Lynch on first down. And incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd and 10. It's Lynch again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. C.J. Anderson, the intended target. 3rd down here.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
On 3rd down, Lynch. A dump off to Anderson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So on 4th down, here's a punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Now on 1st down. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's 2nd down. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield. Logo. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the 1st.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that, and when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Here's Walford over the middle. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And they still need 8 yards for the 1st here on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
All right, here we go. Wide and Yates. Wide and Yates. Got you, Pop. Come on, baby. Alert. Alert. We're going to rally. We ready? Wide and Yates.
On 3rd down, Murray. But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Carr. Flushed out right. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now they'll throw with Carr. And it's caught. Touchdown. Johnny Holton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. That time, a 9-play drive. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Let's talk about the starting lineup offensively for the Denver Broncos, and let's talk about Devontae Booker.
I always described him as a guy who 8 carries in college, meaning just keep handing it to him, and he got better as the game. Injury his last year at Utah. Comes in a little bit older than your average back, but boys, he's skilled and talented. And he emulates Emmitt Smith in one way. Loves to keep the ball in his left hand at all times.
Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And a look now at the starting defense.
Dan Williams might as well change his name officially to Big Dan Williams. A monster in the middle, holds down the run game against any team.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Lynch. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. From the gun, it's Lynch. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Jeff Locke now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Carr. Wide open, Amari Cooper. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail.
Seated to my right, Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Toronto football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Looking sideline, incomplete. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third.
We ready? Red 18. Red 18.
Shotgun now for Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They run it again with Anderson. Ooh, the juke. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll throw on first down with Lynch. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll give the Broncos a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
3 yards remaining here on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aldon Smith, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
Now that... They will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
From the red zone now, here's Lynch on 1st down. That's caught. It's Thomas. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. C.J. Anderson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A 10-play drive that time. And it's C.J. Anderson who tops it off with the touchdown run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
All right, here we go.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30.
We saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Carr now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
All right, here we go.
To Murray on first down. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. From the gun, it's Carr. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Clive Walford, his 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys have taken the lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
Let's go.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. To throw is Lynch. Screen play, Anderson. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Lynch. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance. To catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the defensive unit now for the Broncos as they get set here. Last drive, touchdown, surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing.
All right, here we go.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Derek Wolfe in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
All right, here we go.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Four yards remaining now on second down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Lynch looking to throw on second. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Lynch now throwing on third. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. First down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now Lynch on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Once again, it's Lynch. Finding time. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. On third down, Lynch. He goes underneath for Anderson. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And tough starting field position here. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And they're going to speed things up here. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. Now, never mind, Larry, forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Carr to throw on second down. Brought in by Wolford, right side. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Von Miller coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Scott Crichton in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you know.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing. Not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw.
C.J. Anderson. And all the way home for a Broncos score. C.J. Anderson with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Now McManus for the extra point. And in this rain, they were nice and cautious there on the extra point try, and that caution was well warranted as this game is tied. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's C.J. Anderson who tops it off with the touchdown run. This will be fielded at the 6. This offense ready to take over again. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now you got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup. That's good enough to extend the drive. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Second down, 9 yards to go. Now they'll throw with Carr. Caught, the tight end Walford. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Carr now on first down. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
That was a nice completion on an out route. And those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
On first down, Carr finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Completed pass. Play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
All right, here we go. Zebra. Hey, we're going to rally. We ready? Red 18.
Again, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect that.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to take the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And it's up and good. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The defense once more getting set to do battle as they head back out. And a tight ball game here, and in these close ones, every drive becomes magnified.
And we don't want to overuse the word critical, but it feels that way as they head out there for this possession. They need to get the ball back and give their offense a chance to get them totally back into this game.
We'll see if the defense can do just that here.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Another toe here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And There's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Lynch looking to throw on second. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Lynch. Khalil Mack in there to drop him. And he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, more pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Lynch. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Here's Jeff Locke now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Crawford's got it. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Here's Wolford over the middle. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Welcome back to Toronto as we are set to bring you the home stretch. Here, the 4th quarter. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves its sticks.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
2nd down following the run.
Hey, we're going to rally. Rally. Zebra. Right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to roam now. Touchdown. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now Crosby for the point after. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So not the same performance here that we saw a week ago. After the game, we were talking about it. He was hitting on all cylinders. That's just not the case here.
I know, usually on the ride to the airport, we're talking about so many other things, but we were so locked into how well he had played. Sharp throwing the football, made the right decisions on when to run, when not to run.
And you notice his footwork was really good.
Footwork was on point. I thought his ability to manage the game as well, get him into better plays. I thought he was really locked in. So far in this game, we're not seeing that. Hopefully he'll be able to pick it up.
Nice job there, right, of just going through the progressions, finding the open man, even if it wasn't for a 25-yard gain. Everything does not have to be spectacular. The mundane works pretty well in this league, as we just saw there. So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. Lynch now throwing on 3rd, and that is incomplete. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful. Taken in at the 11. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that enables them to also pick up the first.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And, Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
This is Murray. Latavius Murray. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Latavius Murray with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Detroit!
2nd and 10 now. It's Lynch surveying the field. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Lynch. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, the hit sure looks like a simple route, but I think the issue with it is a lot of time when you're making that play. You're actually working your way back inside towards traffic where the big guys are coming from inside out, whether it's defensive ends or linebackers. And a lot of the time, instead of securing the pass, your eyes might stray towards the middle and wonder where the big hit's going to come from.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Knox in the house, right? And I go by the name of Wyclef. I bought the band. And we need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan, no fighting in no way.
Popping nugget when I met you, shorty had the long extension. Told her I'm a bad man, but I only got the best intention. Tougher, not a bluffer. I want you to be my lead. Don't have to take it undercover. Just on the bells are ringing, people singing, rice is throwing flower, bringing ting-a-ling-a-ling. The honeymoon is when we going, and I take you to a place that you didn't even know exists. What's your wish? Dinner at the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Shot us in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, and we went up, yeah. And my love is tripping, yeah. Now I feel my body drifting, yeah. Baby girl, she got me lifted, am I tripping? Yeah. Excuse her while she kisses the sky. 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 Jaws dropping when she walking, kind of thing that happen often, more than just a little. I be shutting down the city, black the latest gears. When she where you see that sun in the air, fashion week all yeah, throwing money in the air. She's happy with my lady, other girls they wanna hate her. It comes with the territory, ball players wanna date her. All we got is loyalty, I'm treating you like royalty. I'ma spoil you every day of the week. Shot is in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, and we went up, yeah. And my love is tripping. Now I feel my body drifting. My body dripping. Girl, she got me lifted. Am I tripping? Excuse her while she kissed the sky. Excuse her while she kissed the sky. Excuse her while she kissed the sky.
Put away your inhibitions. Let the beast in you just get loose. We all young, wild, and different. We can all get from a little. I know you're terrified about what the future lies.